So in this next tutorial, I'm going to be talking about aligning the jet. Now, if you are working with CIJ, continuous inkjet, for any length of time, maybe on a daily basis, weekly basis, or maybe even servicing them, then you will at some point in time have to align a jet. A lot of people are afraid of this, only because it's very fine-tuning and it can get messy if not done properly. So I'm going to show you how to do it properly, the procedure for it, and hopefully at the end of the tutorial you'll have a better idea. One thing with this though is practice. There's no substitute for actually getting the screwdrivers out and aligning it yourself and doing the job yourself, and learning how much pressure you put on the screwdriver to align that jet up. So show you how to do it step by step, and first of all I'm going to show you the tools that you need for doing this job. Okay, so we'll start off at the back, obviously because we're going to be adjusting the jet. If that jet does miss the return gutter, then it is possible that it's going to make a mess. So the beaker and the wash bottle, make sure the wash is the right wash for what the ink type that you're using. PPE gear, very important, safety glasses, and the latex gloves. If you don't have the cleaning station, then I would recommend getting a little vise here. This one I got from Amazon. It has the rubber jaws, which are nice and useful when you're clamping down onto the print head so you don't damage the head. But it also has a nice little suction cup plate that secures the vise down to a bench. So that's a nice bit of kit. And then obviously the screwdrivers. Now all you'll need is a Phillips head screwdriver and a flat screwdriver. Some people do better with small ones, some people do better with bigger ones. That's down to preference. And lastly, we need a small flashlight. I use the LED type flashlight, gives a nice strong beam. And most importantly, an eyeglass. You're going to need to be able to see the jet through the eyeglass to see where you've aligned it. So now we've got the tools ready. I think we're ready to make a start. There are two main reasons why you may need to adjust the alignment. One is that part of the message is missing, and I'll show you that now. So if we look at this message, you can see that at the bottom here on the text, part of the message is missing. Okay, that we call that clipping. So basically what's happening is that the jets, the dots that should be going onto the product are actually hitting the return gutter and catching the edge. This means that the alignment is too far over in the return gutter. And then the other reason that you would need to align the jet is if the jet is missing the return gutter altogether and just making a mess in the bottom of the print head on the faceplate and around the gutter. Typically you see this on startup and shutdown. So if your jet is making a big mess on startup or shutdown, then typically this is an alignment issue and the jet is not quite in the right place. So we're going to go ahead and show you how to align these up, and we should be good to go after that. So the first thing we're going to do is move the print head into the cleaning station and take the cover plate off so that we can get access to the print head. I'm going to go ahead and remove this bracket, get it out of the way. So if we take a closer look at the print head now, we can see, walking the way through it, we can see that we have the drop generator here. This is what's creating the droplets with a piezo crystal. we have the charge electrode here. We have the phase detect, and if you look at the phase detect, this is a little, it should be copper color. We actually have this covered in ink. This is usually a good detection that something's not right with the alignment. Coming down to the deflection plates, and then right at the bottom here we have the return gutter, a very, very small hole which the jet goes into and then sucks the ink back up into the system. So, like I said, when you start seeing ink on the charge plates, on the phase detect, splattered around the gutter or the face plate here, that's usually a good sign that something's not right with the alignment. So when we do align the jet has to be aligned in the two axes. The first axis is up and down, or closer to you, far away from you, and then the other axis is from left to right. So we're going to align the jet up first of all in the up and down orientation. Now to do that, I'm going to release this little knurl nut here at the top, take that out, and then when we take that out, we can actually take the print head and rotate it through 90 degrees counterclockwise, and then put it back into the cleaning station. Now what you'll see here now is this here is the alignment screws for moving the jet now up and down, okay, this way. If you look at the tip of the screwdriver, we're lining it now from left to right because we've rotated the head through 90 degrees. So here we have two Phillips head screws, here and here, and then in the middle is a flat head screw. And what we're going to be doing, one of these is, this top one here is on a slot, and then this one is a fixed hole. So all we're going to do is release this one on the slot, and then get a larger screwdriver here and move this so the body of the drop generator moves this way and this way. And then at the bottom here, we can actually see where the jet goes in with an eyeglass and see that it's in the middle of the hole from left to right now. So with a Phillips screwdriver, I'm going to go in and just release this screw. Don't release it too much, just literally loosening it a little bit like that. Not even a quarter of a turn, maybe an eighth of a turn, just so it's slightly loose, but there is a little bit of resistance. Then I'm going to get the flat bladed screwdriver, stick that in that slot, and just rotate it whichever way you want the jet to move. So if you want it to move left, you're going to turn this flat screwdriver to the right. If you want it to move right, then you're going to turn it to the left. Just minute turns. Literally all you're doing is putting a little bit of pressure on that flat screw to move the body of the drop generator here, either left or right, to move the jet underneath. And then once we've got that, we've looked at it with an eyeglass and the jet is in the center of that hole, then we can go ahead and get the Phillips screwdriver again and just in that top screw again, just lock that down in place like that. Don't over tighten it. Very easy to strip the Phillips head so the screwdriver doesn't fit properly. So don't over tighten it. So once we've done that, now the jet is in the center of the hole down here. So we're going to turn it back through 90 degrees. And I'm going to go ahead and put the knurl screw back in so it comes down and rests in there. If you're using the regular vise, you won't need to take this screw out. The only reason I'm taking the screw out is because it doesn't actually fit in the housing the other way around. So now we've adjusted the jet alignment vertically. So the jet alignment is in the center of the gutter hole. we now need to adjust it horizontally from left to right. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to raise the print head up out of the cleaning station just a little bit. With the Phillips screwdriver, we're going to unlock the locking screw. Literally just not even an eighth of a turn. So after we have loosened the locking screw, we can get the flat-bladed screwdriver in the cam and gently tweak the cam until we see the jet start to move from left to right. So a tip on this, if you rotate the flat-bladed screwdriver clockwise, then the jet will travel to the left. If you rotate the screwdriver counterclockwise, then the jet will move from left to right. So the correct positioning of the jet into the gutter is that the jet needs to be right the way over to the left-hand side of the return gutter hole. So the correct jet alignment in the gutter return hole is vertically is 50% in the hole. When we look horizontally, we need to be in the closer to 10-15% towards the left-hand side of the edge of the gutter hole. And the final part, once we've looked through the eyeglass and determined that the jet is in the correct place, both horizontally and vertically, is just to go ahead and use the Phillips screwdriver, and we are going to lock this screw in place so that it doesn't wander. Again, don't over tighten it. Very easy to damage the head of that screw. Once everything is tight and in place, we can go ahead and mount the print head back into the housing on the production line and do a quick print test, and you should be back in production.